also focus on work in preventing radicalization,
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope that everybody is doing well. Let's just give all the other participants maybe 2 more minutes to join us, and then we will start. So we'll start in 2 more minutes. Thank you for your patience. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm so glad that everyone is able to join us today on this Lead Her webinar. It's actually been implemented by the Lead Her Fellows, the second cohort. So I'm very excited to be with you guys today. I hope that you people hear me. We should just do some housekeeping rules, right, before we start. I just want to let everybody know that you can introduce yourselves in the chat. Let us know where you're from. What line of work are you in? I'm hoping this webinar will be fruitful, in our connections, that we're not just conversating for conversation's sake, but we're rather setting out the intention that we are investing in girls' rights as we commemorate the International Day of the Girl Child. Then I will just explain the proceedings of today. I'm going to just do the general introduction of today's topic and then introduce our panelists. Then after they address us, we can then have an open session for all of you to engage, ask questions, give us comments and reflections, and then that will be the close of our session today. We won't be taking too much of your time. I am pretty sure that our panelists are on the call, so I will proceed further. So as you said, today we are commemorating the International Day of the Girl Child. Today I wanted to give a bit of history as to where this day came from and where it originated from. So in 1995, at the World Conference on Women in Beijing, all the UN countries unanimously adopted the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action. This is the first of its kind, the most progressive blueprint ever for advancing women and girls' rights. So this was signed 28 years ago. Then on December 19th, in 2011, the United Nations General Assembly adopted Resolution 66-170 to declare October 11th as the International Day of the Girl Child, not only to recognize girls' rights, but also to understand the unique challenges facing women around the world. So this means that it's only been 12 years since its inception. So we are actually in the infant phases of understanding, firstly, the challenges that are facing women, not only in the world, but specifically African women on our continent, as well as implementing the remedies that we are proposing in policy. So this is very important in understanding where we are in the timeline. We are at a very, very critical time where we should be building the foundation for the frameworks that we are going to use to protect and invest in girls' rights. Hence, this is the perfect occasion for this. The UN's theme this year, the UN Women's theme for the International Day of the Girl Child was Digital Generation, Our Generation. Our theme is focusing on something different on another aspect, which is invest in girls' rights, our leadership, our well-being. I'd also like to mention that this comes from the Lead Her Fellowship cohort, which shows the importance of this topic and why we need to focus on our own rights, but also invest in them. So this is the perfect springboard to introduce our panelists today. So we were supposed to have Miss Patience Munyenyembe, but she is not going to be with us today. Instead, we'll be joined by her trusted colleague, advocate, and gender practitioner, Malango Kaida. She's joining us from Malawi. She holds a Bachelor of Science in Gender and Development from Lilongwe University of Agriculture and Natural Resources. She's a gender and climate change advocate. She's knowledgeable and experienced in gender and development. She is very experienced in community development, advocacy, child development, youth empowerment, and community engagement. So her input will be very valuable for us today. And she will also be joined by Dr. Glory Florentine. She has a background as a clinical doctor, specializing in mental health counseling and psychology. She's a recognized expert in sexual reproductive health education and gender-based violence. She's a co-founder and the executive director of the African-led fellowship Minova Mental Health, a global institution renowned for its high-quality counseling sessions, therapy, and consultation services. Her dedication and impact have been recognized through many accolades, such as the Outstanding Youth in Gender Mainstreaming 2022 by Tanzania Youth Emerging Awards. And she was also distinguished as one of the 100 Sheroes in Tanzania in 2022. And not only that, she was selected as part of the first cohort of the Lead Her Fellowship. So she is a Lead Her alumni. We're very excited to have her here today. So we can start off by just having a general discussion and conversation around this topic, and then I will invite our panelists to address us and give us their inputs. I'll start off with Malango. Please introduce yourself, let us know where you're joining us from, and then we'll pick up from there.
All right, thank you so much. I hope you can hear me. Could you please just confirm if you can hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, fine, thank you. So my name is Malango Kaira. Yes. I'm from Malawi. I hold a Bachelor of Science in Gender and Development, as she has already explained. And I'm excited to be here. I look forward to interacting with you. And yeah, let's be active. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Malango. Dr. Glory Florentine, can you also please just address us and introduce yourself?
Good afternoon, everyone. I guess there you can hear me and see me. I'm Dr. Glory Florentine. I'm from Tanzania, and I'm in Arusha right now. And yeah, as I think you have already explained a lot, and I'm just so happy to be here and yeah, to have this talk and to discuss all this agenda together. Yeah, thank you.
That is perfect. So I'll just start off with the general questions. My first one is, what are the key challenges and barriers that girls are facing in accessing their rights and leadership opportunities in today's society? From your perspective, just let us know from your understanding and the work that you have done. We'll start with Dr. Glory and then Malango can follow.
Okay. Girls have over the years, we have shown the inviolable strength, resilience, character, will, and ability to break through mitigating barriers, the setbacks and limitation. So that were against them and contribute to the global discussion and development in their own ways. But girls surviving bullying and poverty, among others, are in their education pursuit and break glass ceilings on the academic front. But also girls have survived the accessibility challenges and poor health services and prevail to survive and live to fulfill their dreams. So girls are breaking boundaries and barriers that are posed by the stereotypes and the exclusion, including those directed, at those with disabilities and those living in marginalized communities. So regardless of the barriers that they face, girls' wild and undying force and power that pushes them on. So the resilience of girls to preserve and make impacts in their homes and communities present an urgent need to invest in girls' rights. So we have seen like there is a lot of barriers that are there, but still these girls, they preserve a lot of them. So girls can lead in vast ways, to ensure the continuity of the planet if the right amount of investment are made in them. So the increased investment, the attention, the resources in girls' rights in all their diversity, because we have seen that maybe a lot of organizations or some people, they are investing, maybe if you're in STEM, they invest in that. So if, for instance, I'm not in that, so you don't get that investment. If maybe you are in leadership politics, only those who are interested in that. Maybe for those who are in peace and security and something like that. So we have seen this diversity, but through that diversity, a lot of girls who they have nowhere to stand, they have got that benefit, but the most important thing, the most challenge is that how can these girls reach in those areas that they can be able to grab those opportunities. So globally access, example for the education, it's a very, very big barrier. So globally, we can say that the access to education for all girls is still a challenge. So according to the UN, nearly 1 in 5 girls are still not completing even the lower secondary, and 4 in 10 girls are not completing the upper secondary school. So in worst case, there are some girls who are denied completely, the education. The UNESCO reveals that poverty remains a barrier to girls' education, particularly for girls in rural, poor, and hard to reach communities. So currently, we have seen that the climate crisis, which is becoming the greatest threat to the humanity, disproportionately affects women and girls mostly. Even more, So for instance, girls in farming communities, you see, who feel the adverse brunt of the climate crisis, have to sacrifice their education to provide care and support to their families. So the UN reveals that the girls aged 5 to 14 years globally spend I don't know if this is true, but they spend 160 million more hours, every day on unpaid and domestic work more than boys. So we have seen there is a lot still. I'm feeling it saddened me to observe until to these specific days, we have days to address the rights and significance of women. So behind these celebrations, there are grim pictures of inequalities across the world based on sex, race, caste, class, disability, you see, things like that. So the harsh reality is that in many cases, these inequalities are deeply rooted first in our family, in our societies, and then states. So it started from the root, So in the 21st century, when women have already proven themselves as the head of the state, we have a president, in Tanzania, Samia Suluhu, some of them, they're in parliaments, some of them are multinational companies, and they have so many accomplishments. So still we have to talk about creating opportunities for girls and securing their rights. So this is very, very sad. So still we have a lot of work to do. There is still a lot of barriers that hinder that. And we really need to push and to see where we can do this. I guess, shortly, I can say that. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Glory. Those are very valuable insights. Malango, you can continue.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, indeed, there are a lot of barriers and key challenges that girls face in attaining leadership positions, but I will just talk about a few factors or challenges that also contribute to failure of girls to attain leadership positions. And one is the culture. The culture or social norms as we were growing up as young girls, the society already labeled what a girl must do and what a boy must do. And because we're labeled as second-class citizens, we have grown with that mentality that I need to be inferior. I don't need to work hard. I don't need to inspire more, to do more and achieve more. So culture is one of the barriers, and also lack of support. Lack of support is coming in from the families at the community level, where they say it takes a community to educate a child. So if the community is not supporting a girl child, if the family is not supporting a girl child, how can a girl develop herself in terms of leadership skills? So she needs to have support from the family. She needs to have support from the community, even the friends, So lack of support is also one of the key challenges that contributes to failure of girls in attaining leadership positions, and also inadequate education. During the Second World War, women or young girls, they were not allowed to go to school because they believed that girls will get married and the husband will be there to support the wife. So with that mentality, not many communities or government invested in a girl child. So because of inadequate education, which also reached to illiteracy level among girls, we found that many girls in societies, they don't have the leadership skills that they must have. So because of the inadequate education, it also leads to failure to attain some leadership positions. And also I have also noticed in communities where I work with girls that inadequate platforms where girls can exercise their leadership skills would not have. So this in the platforms, we have the student council in universities, we have school prefects in secondary schools, but then if they're done with the school, what next? So we need the platforms where girls can continue to still exercise their leadership skills even when they're done with school. And also, we also need, girls need to be supported. I know we have so many organizations who are working on to empower girls, to empower young women, but girls from the rural areas, typical rural areas, they need to be supported. They need to be empowered. They need to be taught on their rights, because some of the girls did not know that they have the rights to education. They have the rights to health services. So they need to be empowered. If they're empowered, they will know and they'll be able to inspire more. So that's that from my side.
These are really valuable inputs coming from our panelists today. And I think the first thing that that Dr. Glory mentioned is the fact that we are resilient, that African girls are resilient, the fact that we are already breaking boundaries and surviving in these barriers that we are talking about now in terms of education and isolation of investment. So that's what we're saying, is that if we're speaking about investing in girls' rights, they can't just exist in these specific industries, like we're saying STEM, politics. We need to open up the investment so that girls have access to this investment into their rights. But also another big point that was mentioned was the barriers that are rooted in our actual cultures. Malango used the term second-class citizens. That is a very big, broad understanding of what it means to be an African girl child and what you're conditioned into. So we need to break those barriers within our cultures and have support not only from governments and institutions, but from our own communities. And that leads me to my next question that says that in what ways can governments, organizations, and individuals contribute to creating a more supportive environment for girls to thrive and to lead? I see that we have lost Dr. Glory, so maybe Malango, you can take this one.
Okay, thank you so much. So I think one way of making sure that young girls, young women attain these leadership positions is the government needs to invest in the future of young girls. So investment is coming in by putting more resources in areas that matters most. So these areas, education, we talk of health, and also in areas such as climate change. So we know that education is a basic human right for everyone, and everyone is entitled to have quality education. If we have good education, especially for girls, it means they'll be able to acquire the right knowledge and they will know what is ahead of them. Like they said, educating a girl child is like educating the whole country. Why is it so? Because girls, they know the things that affects them. They are the primary readers, we're the natural readers. So if you invest more in girls through education, it means you have educated a country. And if we invest more in areas that matters most, like the aforementioned areas, health, and also areas such as climate change, we know how climate change is also affecting education. We know how climate change is also affecting the healthy services. And also empower girls about leadership skills. They need to be empowered at a young age. So starting from the primary, secondary school, when they go to university, they will know that, yes, I am a reader, not of tomorrow, but I'm a reader of today, because they already take care of the family. So what more if we empower them with the right skills, the leadership skills? So if we invest more in girls and also empower them, and also create platforms where girls can exercise their leadership skills. I love how Plan Malawi is working with young girls by taking young girls to the parliament just to inspire them, just to let them know that this is how things work. So if you take me to the parliament, I'll see that, okay, there's a young girl there sitting there. One day I want to be like that person. I'll grow up with that mindset and I'll know what to do with my rights. So, and also government should create policies that are in favor with girls, that are very conducive with girls. So if we do that, if government and organizations, they work on that, it means we'll have a conducive environment for girls. Thank you.
Thank you for that. No, what I'm hearing also is a very important role that government plays, right, in ensuring that there is investment into girls and children. So coming from Dr. Glory, I'd love to hear from you, maybe other organizations outside of government, how are they able to create a more supportive environment for girls to thrive and to lead?
Thank you. Empowering girls, it is a collective effort. We cannot leave one side only to play for that. So it requires a commitment, advocacy, and action from individuals and communities, apart from the government and the organization. So first of all, is join the conversation. Like this is one of it, to use the social medias and other platforms to share the support and right. Like in that day, the International Day of the Girl Child, there is ladies out there, I was reading in the websites of people, and it's amazing, there's some intellect, it's there, and you're like, wow, okay, this is very insightful and all that. So that is one way. So as a person, like if you don't know what's going on, if you don't know what challenges girls face and all that, you can just write in your Google, like International Day of the Girl Child. You can find everything and different insights and all that. So that's the first thing, like to join the conversation, you as an individual, you as a community and all that. Then the second one is to support the girl-centric organization. There are some girls out there, they have started their own, small organization and all that, supporting that. Even if it's not about you going and supporting financially. No, you can just say, I volunteer, I will post whatever you're doing and all that, just to put it over there, and all that. Oh, I will connect you with some people and all that. So for instance, Lead Her Fellowship, like for the first cohort, when we finished, we were given funds, grants to do something like in the community and all that. And yes, some people, they have done amazing things in the community. And trust me, that's one way, like you're educating, you're training a girl. Then after that, you're supporting her to do something like whatever they have learned from, to do something that they dream of in their vision and all that. So that's another way. And another way, it's like, be an ally, you can actively challenge gender stereotype. If you hear a girl have been raped, gender-based violence has happened, be there, be the first one to support it. The discrimination has happened. There's the girl who does not attend school and all that. You can just be there to support that girl to attend school, or even at the workplace. Nowadays, mental health has been a very huge discussion that is going on, especially the mental health at the workplaces. You see, you find like there is sextortion. So sextortion is the corruption of sex, and which we have seen, and maybe some of us, we have been, a victim on that, So you have seen like a woman or a girl has undergone that. She's very, very good. The CV is reading very well, but she hasn't got that position. And because the boss needs, sex and something like that, and you can't talk about that. You're like, oh, it's normal if she can't do that. No. We need to be an ally to protect each other, as girls. And another thing is educate yourself, like the way I said earlier, like continue to educate yourself about the challenges. Every day new things happen, but they happen in a new way. They're all things that were there, but they just happen in a new way and all that. So this makes like the progress to be made to fight gender equality and all that. But let us pledge like to redouble our efforts to empower girls and advocate for policies that protect girls' rights, especially like now in Tanzania, we are doing the one for the child marriage, and all that. But we really put a lot of efforts on that. And now it's like quiet because we have left the parliament to do its work and all that. But still, we can continue, pushing forward and all that for the changes to be made as fast as possible. So also that it helps to ensure access to the quality education and healthcare, and to create an environment where they can live their lives free from violence and discrimination. So yeah.
Yeah, that's really great. I think what you're saying now is so big that we're joining the conversation. So all of you that are participating today are actively hoping or wanting to invest in girls' rights. And that's the most important thing, right? The intention that we have. And the next question that I have is actually one to the participants here, that what are the initiatives or things that you are doing and currently participating in that you'd like to let us know that are investing in girls' rights all over the continent? You can put it in the chat and as we go along. But specifically also the second part for our panelists, what are some of the initiatives that you guys are doing in advancing girls' and women's rights? And if there are opportunities for participation, you can also elaborate on that so that our participants can also join in, not only in the conversation, but in the implementation. So I'll give it to you, Malango, then Glory, you can go directly after.
All right, so thank you so much. So I work in the area of gender and climate change, and I work with students from secondary schools, both boys and girls, and also young women. But most of the times I work with girls in areas that affect them. So in areas of gender, climate change, health, and youth leadership. So we have different activities. For example, gender. Gender is a broad concept, and it has people understood it differently. So we have different activities. For example, we have debates where girls come and talk about issues that affect them in communities, in families, that they cannot talk to the teachers. And also we have activities on climate change, just relating how climate change is affecting their lives in general, how climate change is affecting their education, how climate change is affecting their health, and how as young girls they can take action knowing that they are the change agents and young leaders of today. So most of the young girls are interested in these issues because these are the issues that affect them mostly, and they are more vulnerable when it comes to climate change, and also when there are no services due to climate change, that the ones also affected because they now they have no way where they can access these services. So most of my work is mostly to build the capacity of young girls in secondary schools and in communities, and also empower them on different issues that that affect them in their lives in terms of education and climate change and equality, and also youth leadership. Thank you.
Yes, Glory, you can answer.
Okay. So one of the initiative that I was able to come up with after the Lead Her Fellowship, so I was able to come up with Minova Mental Health Fellowship, whereby I'm the co-founder and executive director. So Minova Mental Health Fellowship, it deals with training, coaching, and mentoring youth to become mental health champions in the community. So for them to advocate about mental health and gender-based violence. So for now, since July, we started with cohort 1, whereby we only based in Tanzania for the cohort 1. But just let me tell you, cohort 2 is coming. It's next year, and it will be East Africa. So just East Africa, just get ready. So how we operate, we do have university workshops, we have community workshop, and we have visual workshop. So the visual workshops, we train them how to be a mental health advocate, how to be a champion, you know, how to advocate for this. If you see someone going through mental health issues and all that, how you can support, how you can help this person, and also how you can be a para-counselor, you know, you can counsel someone even without going and spend like 3 years, 4 years in class, but just little training, you can just become like a para-counselor in the community and you can support this. But also about gender-based violence, to get to know how to prevent gender-based violence. And gender-based violence, always people think about rape and beating, you know, but it's more than that. So we train them how to prevent it, how to report it, especially all the legal frameworks. For instance, if I ask anyone, like if someone has undergone maybe a rape, where are you going to report first? In your own community. So we look different frameworks in different districts, the place that you are. So for now, we started like with Tanzania. So next year, we'll talk about different legal frameworks, maybe in Uganda, in Kenya, and all that. So we will do all that. And also how to support and how to educate this youth. So in Visual, we talk about that, and mostly we targeted girls. So in Visual workshop, it's only girls and females. But when we go in community workshop, so if you've been trained, you will be given an opportunity to go and practice what you have been trained in your own community. So that's another way. So even you can start your own something, you know, an initiative. So you can be creative, you know. So, and this month, as we are commemorating mental health month, so there are some youth out there, they are performing, they're doing the community activities in their own communities in Tanzania. So we are supporting them, we're giving them resources and all that, so for them to do that. So it started as a leader fellowship, but it's expanding, you see. So it's expanding. So you're investing in girls, and those girls, they're investing in other girls. And that is the thing that I wanted to tell like everybody. If you got a ladder, if someone gave you a ladder, if you reach up, don't shut it down the ladder. No, just put it down and other girls to come up as well. So is that what we're doing? So our mission is to become the leading fellowship in Africa, so that trains and develops youth to become mental health champions, and also to spearhead research on mental health. Because even if you try to Google right now, like research on mental health, there are very few. You can't find like informative data that is there. So if you're also passionate about research, you're passionate about writing and all that, but also another thing, creative thing, we're coming up with poems, so like on mental health or GBV. So if you're also interested in that, we welcome you, and we like volunteers. We like, even if you are in other countries, even if we're going as East Africa, we really do, as long as you're in Africa, we welcome you in that. So you can visit, we are in Instagram, Twitter, as Minova Mental Health Fellowship. So we are all over there, so you can just visit us, and we really need youth to be a part of this change and the challenge. And about mental health and gender-based violence, it's a very big topic, and it's one of the initiatives that have just started this year, but it's growing rapidly and very, very large. So I really welcome all of you. We empower girls and women. So in community and university, we work with both genders. So yeah, there is men and women all over there, but also we are thinking to change a little bit in Visual also, to put men a little bit in there, because it's the discussion of everyone out there. So yeah, so I would really love to see someone just texting me and telling me, just DM me, tell me I heard about this and I want to join. I will really, really welcome you. So yeah, thank you.
No, that's so exciting. As you heard, can you please type it in the chat, the Minova socials and maybe your email address as well, so that people can contact you if they want to volunteer. As you heard, the first call was in Tanzania. The next one is going to be in East Africa. But the call is open to all of us. Any kind of contribution, whether it is poems, as you said, writing, volunteering, let's just be part of the implementation, and let's support girls' rights. And it goes even further, as we're saying, part of supporting girls' rights ensures that we are also involving men in the conversation, involving them in the work that we are doing. So I think that's really amazing. That's really great that both our panelists, Malango and Dr. Glory, are doing so much work in gender. Even the lens on climate change is actually such an important lens, because as we said, we are the most vulnerable population when it comes to the effects of climate change. Just the last question, just for the panelists, a big part of this is social media and technology, right? We cannot ignore the role that it plays in advancing the work that we are doing. So can we please talk about how these tools can be harnessed to advance girls' rights and amplify their voices? Because we know that we need technology to amplify the work that you are doing, firstly, and the thoughts, the innovations of girl children across the continent. So Malango, you can go first, and Dr. Glory, you can follow.
All right, so thank you so much. Yes, social media and technology is a powerful tool to harness the voices of young girls. So social media on its own, it can also destroy the life of a young girl if we're not careful enough. But since we're moving with technology, it means young girls and young women, they need also to be empowered in technology and how they should be using the social media. Now we have TikTok, we have Facebook, we have LinkedIn, we have Twitter, which is now called X, we have Instagram. So in all these platforms, young girls, they need to be taught that, okay, we have these platforms, and how do you utilize them to make sure that your voices are heard out there? How do you utilize them to make sure that you use them in a positive way and not in a negative way? So young girls, they need to be empowered in technology as well, how to use laptops, how to use Zooms, how to use Teams, how to use a phone, a WhatsApp, how to use an email. So they should start from the primary, secondary, and when going to university, they should be more advanced. Like in my case, I knew how to use the computer when I went to college, which is not supposed to be like that, So young girls need to be taught at a young age how to move with technology, but in a positive way and not in a negative way, because I've seen also social media destroying the lives of young girls because they don't know how to use the technology or social media in a way that they can be helped. So if we empower young girls in this area, it means their voice will also be amplified. So they can be taught on how to be a social digital marketer, or how to be how to create stories using technology, how to create stories using smartphones and all that. So we are moving with technology, and young girls, they also need to be moving with technology because the world is about technology. So if we leave out the girls, it means we're leaving out the whole world. So that's my part.
Yeah, that's so amazing, and it's great to see you. Yeah, Dr. Glory, you can follow up.
Okay. So there is this how can I put it? Misinterpretation people have, like if I'm in medicine, I will only focus in medicine. I don't want to enter into STEM. So STEM is science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and those things. Or if I'm in certain position, if I'm in business, then technology, what am I going to do with that? So just to let you know, the world, yes, is changing. The way Malango has said it, we are changing into the technology. Everything in 50 years, 60 years to come, everything will need your knowledge on technology. So where will you be? So you'll have to put like yourself in a position that you use technology. So just by saying I learned technology and I'm a cyber threat intelligence investigator and digital forensic analyst. So I did that, and it was like, you're in medicine, why are you doing that? But I was like, okay, I just need to understand these hackers. Okay, I'm really interested about the hackers, how to hack, how to do that. So I was just like, okay, I can't do that. I can try to do that. And there is fellowships out there. There is opportunities out there. We see a lot of opportunities, but we say like, oh, I can't apply. Maybe I'm not qualified and all that. But there is opportunities out there for everyone. As long as you see opportunity, grab it, apply for it. This year, I cannot say, but I this year, just in total, I do list application that I apply. But yes, you have already got your degrees and all that, but that's not it. You need other skills. You need other soft skills. You need other things out there. So apply. This year I've applied like, it has reached like 50 plus. And yes, you can be rejected by the I've been rejected more than I've been accepted, you know? So yes, and I do read, you know, okay, when we started the Minova, you know, people applied, you know, then now we are supposed now to send congratulation letters and rejection letters. So I collected all rejected letters that I got. And I was like, now I need to find a very hurtful rejected letter, you know, to one, but actually I didn't send any of the rejected letter. So yes, when you're rejected, you learn more. You know, you can just call them. Sometimes they don't even give feedback, and that's really, really hurtful. Like, you don't know if you passed or you didn't and all that. But apply as many times, and sometimes you can just be shortlisted and you don't remember, when did I apply this? What is this for? You know, and things like that. But my dear women and girls, apply as many as possible. Even if you don't know anything about it, apply, then go and read about it. Google has everything. Google it, ask people, what is this about, and all that. And especially in technology. So there is a lot. I know there is Cyber Girls Fellowship. There is also Tech for Development and things like that. Those are the two big ones I know, and they do Africa, all of the Africa. So in technology, you can just go to their social media, look, they have even a 1 week course, 2 week course, and all that. So technology, that's where girls are, because it is historically, it's like a male dominated, you know. So we encourage girls to explore these areas, to keep an open. Even in Minova, we want to try now, because in counseling, you know, people now they're asking AI about their depression and stress. So you need to put yourself up there to know how you can use that to create an app. So even if you're in software, so we need girls, we need women out there who they will be able to create these softwares, to create these apps, whereby people from everywhere, they can just access counseling anytime. If someone has a panic attack, want to present something on the stage, and they have only 5 minutes, they can't find a psychologist or counselor right that time, or just a mental health champion to talk to. So they need that app that was created by you as a woman, as a girl child. So we need you out there. We need you in science. We need you in technology. We need you in engineering, in mathematics. So like, I do encourage everyone. I mean, every girl. Yes, men, you are out there. I know you are hearing me. You are doing that, and congratulations. And also you can encourage us to do that. So like, yeah.
No, I really love that. To the men out there, you know, we're saying it's a male-dominated industry. So when women are coming in, support them, you know, be a part of growing them. I think that's a big part, that your role is also to facilitate this integration, because we are going to work together to have the Africa that we want. But we're lessening the gap between the two genders. And that's the work that we are focusing on right now. But it doesn't mean anyone is left behind. But that is a big part of what you're saying. Technology is where we're moving. And if we're empowering girls to use it correctly, as Malango is saying, we will have so much more of the benefits than the constraints that come with technology. And as you were saying, the fellowships that you should join, that is also a personal part of my story, is that just applying everywhere and being put in, you know, that's how you learn about things like this Lead Her Fellowship. I encourage everybody to go to YouLead's page to see the different initiatives that are happening, because there are many fellowships all across the board that will give you the soft skills that you need to participate in creating the Africa that you essentially want to see one day. So that is very important that we should do that. Now I think it's time to open up to the rest of the audience, to the floor. If you guys have any questions, you guys can put them in the chat, or you can raise up your hand, unmute for our panelists, and let us know what you're thinking, even if it's just a comment, a reflection. We have a little bit of time here before the end of our session. It has been a very fruitful session, so hopefully you guys have a lot to contribute. I don't see any hands right now. Is there anyone who would like to say anything? Also, feel free to use the chat. Just let us. Yes. Tracy, is that you?
Yeah, my name is Harp. Maybe I don't know why you can see it. Well, my name is Restina Bagala. I am from Lead Her Fellowship. Yeah, I'm another cohort too. First of all, our panelists have really given us very nice insights, and also personally, I'm benchmarking from that work they're doing, you know, I think I'll also go ahead to add on what I'm doing in my community. Just to add on what Glory said is, you know, advancing girls' rights is a collective effort. We are going to leave everything to the government or to the policy makers and everything. As we draw policies and also maybe advocate for policies and everything waiting for to be implemented, but we also have a collective action that we need to do. For example, as we people who have been empowered, as young women who have been empowered, you know, most of these girls in the communities, in villages around us, they look at us as, you know, people who are maybe near to God, you know, they think that maybe God speaks from us. And when we go out there and speak to them, trust me, we are contributing something big to their own lives. Like, we are empowering them. Like, most of people think that to do something, to create an impact, you know, to do something big, maybe you need to have money, you go and do this and this. But no, actually, you can just sit down, maybe request a school to go in the school and talk to the girls, empower the girls, you know. We have events. Perhaps you invited to an event, you can even request, can I carry with maybe 1 or 2 girls and come with them? And also for the various opportunities which come along, we are going to find most of these opportunities, maybe you pass the age, they want someone who is below 20 and you're above 20. You know, it's not like really, it's not bad for you to maybe to just in some girl, you know. So that's how you're going to go ahead to empower girls, to create spaces for girls, and so on. I beg to submit. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Resti. Yes, as she said, she is part of our cohort this year in the Lead Her Fellowship. So I'm not sure if Malango and Glory would like to, add to that reflection. It's very packed with the work that is being done, and there's synergies, in the work that both of you guys are doing.
Okay, she has said very, very well. Actually, you're not supposed to do a big thing at all. Just start small, start where you are, start with what you have. You can do a visual. Actually, right now, like you can just plan something, about something, do that, more about cars, okay? Maybe for instance that. Tell us, a lot of us, we really don't know about cars, but you really know about that. Just right there, women, please, there is a meeting and all that. If you want to know about brand new cars 2023, let us know and all that. So just start small. You're just innovating something, be creative, do something that you love, something that you're passionate with. And there is this thing about being diverse, we say like in your 20s, just try a lot of things, try everything until you find something that, yes, this it is. And even if I sleep, even if I wake up at night, I will do it with all my heart. Even if I won't be paid in 5 years, I will continue doing it. But in your 20s, don't stress yourself to know where you're fitting, just try a lot of things. Every interest that comes in, try this, try a lot of things. Then at the last, you will find yourself where you stay, where you fit in. So volunteerism, that's the best thing. Like a lot of youth, if you just tell them join or come to this community, come to this conference, is their money. That's the worst thing that you can do. Just don't, if you have that word, just erase it. Even if you have degree, you have masters, you have PhD, just say, yes, I will attend. Reach there, connect, network, show yourself, brand yourself, sell yourself what you have and all that. Then people, they will see what you have. They will find you for that. So volunteer as many times as possible and all that. Then apply for opportunities. Don't forget, apply as many as possible. Every week, at least apply twice or 3 times. If you're too busy, apply, once in a week, but don't let an opportunity pass. If you see yourself, you fit in it, then learn and educate yourself. There is a lot of online sessions, online courses, which are very free and all that. Put yourself out there, do that, educate yourself, learn. Even if there is something you can find, it's called cantamology. You don't know what that is. Then when will you know? Learn about it and all that. So just evil. And the last thing, take risk. Don't hesitate. If you don't take risks, because people, they're saying, I'm afraid if I'll do this. You haven't done it yet. Do it. Then when you fail, okay, I did this way, then I failed. Okay, let me do this other way, then to see how it is. So take risk, be masculine as possible, take those risks. So yeah, I'll just add that.
Malango, is there anything that you want to add?
So just to add, I wanted to talk about networking and volunteering, so she has already tackled that point, but just to emphasize on that, as young girls and young women, we face a lot of challenges. So if you don't stand up for yourself, no one will. So like Glory has already highlighted, that we start small. No one starts big. You start small and you grow. I have been a volunteer since college and I'm still volunteering. I have applied for so many opportunities. I've received so many rejections, but I didn't give up. I'm still applying. I'm still receiving the rejections, but the heart is never, ever give up on yourself, on your dream. If you know that you have the passion, go for that passion. If you know that you want to achieve something in your community, in your family, go for that. No one will break the glass ceiling for you. We have so many voices coming from different people, your families, your friends, the communities, even the people that you trust most. So if you don't fight for yourself, no one will. But remember, you start small and you grow. So if you have seen the opportunity to volunteer, go for it. Opportunities will not find you, you find opportunities. So those opportunities, you network. That's how we connect with people. That's how we find connections. So many people have asked me, I mean, how did you end up being here? The answer is simple. I volunteered. I sought myself out there. So if you don't sell yourself at a young age, you will not sell yourself when you get 30, because that time it will be hard for you to do that. So this is the time to fight. This is the time to rise, and this is the time to find that passion, fight for it, and go for it. Thank you.
That's amazing advice there. We have time maybe for one more question. Is there anyone else who'd like to have a reflection or a comment? I'm just keeping my eyes open here on the chat as well, but I didn't see any questions so far. But I do agree with all of you that there is a big role, you know, for us to participate, because we have all these investments and all these opportunities, but us as young girls do have to participate in these programs so that we can better ourselves, you know, and stand up for ourselves. And when we are in spaces like this, where you see people who look like you, where you are seeing women doing amazing things, that also, you know, creates that thing in you that it's possible, that I can do it. And not only that, we can have community with one another. We can reach out to each other. Now we've opened a whole new door, you know, of women who can now learn about gender and climate change, who can learn about mental health, who can see that there is opportunity in all these different places for people like them. So I think that's very amazing for us to be discussing. I don't see any other hands or participation from anyone, but I guess while we're waiting, just before we close off, I just wanted to ask our panelists, what are the organizations that you see in your network right now that are promoting exactly what we're speaking about now? You know, the things like the programs maybe that you have applied for, that you found great value in, places that you volunteered in, that you found great value in. What are the good initiatives, you know, for us now in this meeting to look into, research, and hopefully apply for and one day be a part of? One of Malango, you can go first, maybe, if you want to.
Okay, so there's so many organizations doing marvelous work, but you cannot work with all the organizations because you need to align with your values and with your work. If the work aligns, it means you can partner and collaborate with that organization. So for example, I'll talk of Plan International here in Malawi. They have so many activities and so many projects, and mostly they empower young girls in areas of education, in areas of sexual and reproductive health and rights, in areas of gender, and also leadership. So I gave an example that Plan International, they inspire girls by taking the girls to attend meetings, trying to be like lawyers, doctors. So in that way, it means they're training young girls at a young age to start imagining themselves as a doctor, as a lawyer. And when that young girl is growing up, she'll have that mentality that one day I need to be a lawyer. And also have organizations like Girls Network Empowerment. They also work with girls in communities to end teenage pregnancies, early marriages. They also empower young girls in communities in areas of education and civic educate young girls, and also leadership. So we have so many organizations, but these are the organizations. Also UNICEF. UNICEF also works with children in communities and young girls as well. So there are so many organizations out there, but you just need to align yourself with the organization that you know that this organization will add value to what I'm doing. So that's that.
That's perfect. And from you, Dr. Glory?
Okay, Malango has already mentioned like all of them, but I'll add in the STEM, as I said, there is Cyber Girls Foundation. They're just finishing graduating the fellowship. And I think from January, they're starting recruiting another fellowship. So they take like 600 plus girls, you know, so you can get your chance, but it's an intensive class. So you really need to be ready, like you really need to be ready on that. And there is a lot of like specialization. So you can specialize in a lot of things. One of it is the cyber threat intelligence and digital forensic. But there is also penetration testing. There is, okay, I forgot, there's cloud forensic. Yeah. And the rest, they had the ones for coding and all that. So yes, but if you want to take online courses, WHO, they have their own platform. If you write WHO online courses, they're there. But also there is Allison. They give accredited courses. And you'll just, if you want the certificate, you'll just have to pay, I don't know, $5, something like that. It's very cheap. So you can do that, but also you can just learn and just leave the certificate there. So yeah, that's the choice. But also there is EDX. You can also learn from that. But also there is a lot of other apps. So if you just write online courses and all that, there is a lot of apps out there, but these are the one which I'm sure of, and they're legal also. So yeah, so you can do that. But also there is us, Minova. Yes, we are training you, so welcome. We welcome you. So yeah, but I like to finish like, ask for help. You're not alone. You see, as a girl, ask for help. You're not alone. So if you feel like you are stuck somewhere, and as long as if you just feel embarrassed asking, you will never get out there. So just ask for help. Investing, it's just not talking about one-sided. It's talking two-sided. Invest in yourself so that someone else can see your potential and invest in you. So, and when you're up there, stretch your hand to help the fellow girl. Yeah, thank you.
That is really amazing. That is so great. I just wanted to end off because our time is up. If you guys can also just write your own contact details in the chat again. I know Dr. Glory did it earlier on, maybe just to copy and paste it again. Malango, can you also add your contact details so that people can reach out and see what you guys are doing on your social media, and hopefully also be a part of these projects, not just in East Africa, but all over Africa. And also the Bethlehem, I'm sorry if I said that wrong. He or she would like to find out if you guys can write the list of the fellowships that you mentioned also in the chat. I think that would be very helpful for everyone here. So yes, that is the end though of our session today. Thank you so much for taking out the time to join us. And as we said, this is Mental Health Month. It is the International Day of the Girl Child. It was on the 11th of October, but it's something we're commemorating the whole month. So hopefully you can continue to be a part of the conversation. We encourage you to follow ULEAD's pages, as well as keep up with the Lead Her Fellows, as Rusty was mentioning that she's part of the current fellowship. There's a lot of work being done, and it is our part to also support the good work that is happening out there on our continent, because we are innovators, and that is something that is true to us, and we should be supporting one another as we build the Africa that we want to see. Yes, Malango and Dr. Glory have put everything in the chat, or I'll put the chat to everyone, and then we should be perfect. So thank you guys again for joining us. Thank you to our panelists. We really appreciate your time and your insights and your input. It's been really amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking part.